How's it going, guys? Alex here. So, things in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now haven't exactly been the best. So this isn't just going to be like what the title says, an OCG rundown. This is actually going to be another discussion altogether. Um, I, I mean, recently, I haven't really had the best time in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think things recently haven't exactly been up to my expectations, and stuff just hasn't been as fun as it used to be for me, especially. Um, because right now it kind of feels like the meta is very boring. And don't get me wrong, I still love Yu-Gi-Oh! I still play the game. I'm not gonna quit because I still play for the fun of it. I mean, I go to tournaments where meta decks aren't allowed, even though I play Spiral, Nightmare, and everything. So it's a completely different thing. But it's just the way that the game has been going really isn't really smart, if you see where I'm coming from. So I'm gonna go through the whole quick rundown of the OCG ban list that just recently came out, and I've already seen everything, which is again, so it's not a live reaction just like what I do with the TCG ones, but in this case we're just gonna go over a quick discussion about what they're gonna do, or what they could potentially do in the TCG when the next ban list comes out. So let's go straight into it. So forbidden cards now, as you guys can see now here, Cannon Soldier, Toon Cannon Soldier, and the Magical Explosion. Now I'm not 100% sure on the Magical Explosion on why that's actually limited, but to be honest, of course it's to do with it's got to be to do with burn damage and potential FTKs. If someone knows that reason, please tell me in the comment section, but for the time being I'm not 100% sure with it all. So yeah, so Cannon Soldier, Toon Cannon Soldier are both banned in the OCG, and it's quite understandable what's been going on with this card. Cannon Soldier has been part of an FTK loop that is not only used in the OCG, but is also used in the TCG in Goki Nightmare, which currently people were thinking was going to be a tier 0 deck, when really Sky Strikers have just taken over altogether. So Cannon Soldier and Toon Cannon Soldier have both been banned. They both have literally the exact same effects, except one's a Toon and one's just Cannon Soldier. But the only reason why people tend to use Cannon Soldier instead of Toon Cannon Soldier is because I believe on the turn that Toon Cannon Soldier is summoned, you can't attack with it, or something to do with Toon World or something, so you're only limited to using his effect. My opinion on this is it's pretty pathetic. It's a pretty pathetic ban, and this is what I think they've done wrong here. We've all been saying this for so long that if you look at this, like, firstly I want to just shout to Simo in both of these, because these are both his videos, and he revealed had people reveal that they know these FTKs. What card do you notice in both of these videos here? That's right, Firewall Dragon. This card is ridiculous, and I know that OCG are really more for their anime, unlike what we are, but they could have done something. Like, there is a way that you can actually sort out this card, and by sorting it out, I mean banning it and giving it an errata. I know this is the main protagonist card in what's it called, in the Vrain series, but you actually have to wake up and smell the coffee and realize that cards this powerful should not be allowed in the game. And we've had Gem Knight FTK, we've got and all these other FTK decks. I mean, in loads of these FTK decks, Firewall Dragon seems to be the prime card that is actually kicking everything off. I mean, sure, the same thing with the whole thing with the Predator Plant engine. Not the Predator Plant, the Phoenixian Cluster Amaryllis was more to do with Topologic Bomber Dragon, but that was a little bit of a different and more of a clumsy loop that was pretty weird. But Firewall Dragon should be the card that should be banned here. It's a bit too good, and the whole thing of just like constant special summons, boom, 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 over and over again, is pretty dumb, and it's limited in the OCG and the TCG. But in my opinion, the TCG I think should get it right and ban the card, because, all honesty, banning Cannon Soldier and Toon Cannon Soldier isn't really going to solve anything. And I'm saying it's not going to solve anything because I guarantee you someone's going to find another loop that doesn't require that card. Like, I guarantee you people who are playing Oki FTK will end up using the one that they use Infernity. What's it called? Is it Amazon's Archer or something? What's that? Yeah, Amazon's Archer. They're going to end up using that. Okay, so that throwback away, let's go over to the other cards that were banned and limited. So, limited cards, we have the following: Astrograph Sorcerer, Harmonizing Magician, Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones, and Set Rotation. Now, if you guys didn't know, in the OCG, Set Rotation was actually at 2 rather than at 1 when, we had it. We actually, after the whole thing with the emergency ban list with Spiral, Set Rotation got instantly limited, but in the OCG it got put to 2, and then now it's at 1. My opinion to this personally is this should have actually happened ages ago for the OCG. Like, Set Rotation is too good of a sort of field spell kind of activate-y kind of card, because it just blocks off your opponents from using their field spell zone. And in this day and age that we are in now, considering how many decks are using field spells, prime example, Spiral, even Sky Strikers, Trick Stars, and ABC, they all use field spells, and that's all very important for them to use these cards. So Set Rotation should have gone. Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, Harmonizing Magician, and Astrograph Sorcerer is actually a very interesting one. Personally, in my opinion, the only way that you should really hit the Pendulum Magician deck is by just flat out banning Astrograph Sorcerer. Bear in mind, Harmonizing Magician in the not Harmonizing, Double Iris Magician in the OCG is at 1. So is Skull Crobat Joker, which is banned in, well, both of those cards are both banned in the TCG, but are now at 1 in the OCG. So that's pretty interesting. Hitting Heavy Metal Foes Electromite is actually a surprise one, because the only reason for why, in my opinion, Heavy Metal Foes Electromite was so powerful and broken was because of the interaction it had with Astrograph. The way that, you pop a card, Astrograph Sorcerer, effect would trigger, and then you just do a load of searches on the same chain link on your choice, is a bit too good. And the whole thing with Harmonizing Magician as well, I think they're just trying to slow down the whole synchro aspect of it, because I think people have been using Needle Fiber and Summon Sorceress in their decks, rather than just them making pure kind of pendulum-y decks. Bear in mind, we don't have Summon Sorceress and Needle Fiber in the TCG yet, but the OCG do. So that's another thing. And Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones has actually been the card that has been under the radar for a long time for loads of people, including me. My opinion towards Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones in the by you limiting it, I don't think it's going to do anything, because don't forget, Engage is the is the card that fully allows you to search, and search power being so important in today's Yu-Gi-Oh, it's very and very important and very easy. By limiting Hornet Drones, I don't know if it's going to do enough. And besides, there are other cards like Widow Anchor and all that, but if you hit Widow Anchor, you kind of just hit the whole deck and just ruin it. But I don't really agree with killing a deck so quickly. But I think Hornet Drones to 1 is a good start, but I think eventually the card could get banned, because it is a free, it is basically a free token, and, token spam right now is just a bit too good, and I think they got it wrong, the whole thing when they created Link. I think they just got it wrong. They should have actually really just flat out removed the fact that you can use tokens to link summon monsters, which they really didn't do. Of course, that's why you see Gofu banned and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, moving on, let's go down to the semi-limit cards. This is actually, again, very, very interesting. I'm going to just quickly get Disc Commander out of the way first. Disc Commander, the reason why it's probably just going to go to 3 next list is because it got errata. The errata is absolute shit. I don't need to go over it. This is where it actually gets quite interesting. Speedroid Terratop actually going to 2. Again, I'm very surprised with this, only because Terratop, in my opinion, it should always just remain at 1, because it is kind of just a free link monster when you think about it. Imagine if Terratop was at 2 and you still have the other one, the other level 3 one that you summon. That's a free link monster, and the fact that is that wind one, that wind link monsters like Mrs. Radiant and all that sort of stuff. It's like the simple ones. That's a free one of those, and you know, special summon Terratop, summon the other card, and then all of a sudden just, you know, bang, you free link monster. I don't agree with that, but again, I'm not in charge of it. Spiral Gear Drone. They semi-limited this. I don't really think that in the first place limiting it was really the limiting it wasn't really the problem. It was kind of just, you know, quick fix that was the problem, but hey, I'm not going to complain. El Shaddai Winder and El Shaddai Construct. Now, if anyone didn't know beforehand, after they took El Shaddai Construct off the list at 1, they limited Winder as well, because they didn't know how it was going to have, you know, what the relationship between El Shaddai Construct and El Shaddai Winder, would the deck actually come back into the meta or not. In this case, it really didn't. El Shaddai Construct, now that Link is here, you can't really see any OTKs coming through, so even if the card goes back to 3, in my opinion, it's not going to do anything. Emergency Teleport from 1 to now to 2. Again, remember the OCG update their list a lot more. They actually want to take cards off rather than more just you know, ban them as much. So, you know, it's very smart that they actually took Emergency Teleport off, because hey, what decks that use Psychic cards are actually broken right now? Easy answer, none. So yeah. So that's it really for semi-limit. So off-limit, off the cards, is kind of an interesting one again. Now, here we have Winwitch Ice Bell, because Winwitches were a bit too strong in the OCG. Mathematician, again, this is quite interesting again. And the reason why I say it was interesting, because when El Shaddai Construct got banned, Mathematician got limited in both the TCG and the OCG. And this is because, again, Mathematician's relationship with the archetypes was just a bit too good. So that's the reason why it got hit. So it's kind of interesting, really, because they're taking them off now. And yeah, I think it's, depending on how it affects the meta, which I don't think it's going to do anything, it will be a very, very good. It will still be a very good deck, but it just won't be as powerful as it was back in the day. Shuret, Strategist of the Necros. Personally, it could come off in the TCG. I think it should really just come off to 2 or something, to 3 even, because you have to remember Brio and Unicorn are both at 1 in the TCG and the OCG, so it doesn't really affect anything. Card of Demise, again, True Draco is off the radar completely, because hey, let's see. What's it called? In the OCG, Diagram and Masterpiece are both banned, as is what's it called? Dynamite Knight is limited as well. And taking off True Draco Heritage, again with you know, Diagram and Masterpiece both banned, it doesn't really affect anything. So in my opinion, in certain aspects, this is a good list apart from the Forbidden list. In my opinion, the whole thing they did with the limiting, Astrograph, don't forget they've got other cards hit in different ways, so it's a bit different. Plus the deck isn't exactly shining in the OCG than it was in the TCG. The semi-limits are very interesting, a bit risky in certain aspects with Terratop and all that, but I think it's still very good. Cannon Soldier, Toon Cannon Soldier, I'm not really impressed with. Really, I think they should have hit the elephant in the room and just gone for Firewall Dragon. But hey, it's the OCG. We could have a completely different list next list, and that's going to be a good, I don't know, maybe 2 months away. So yeah, but anyway, that's it for this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment below on your opinion on the on this ban list. Anyway, my name's Alex, and I'll speak to you guys later. Sayonara.